One of the burning economic issues in Nigeria, of course, is still being discussed as a social issue. And the security issues has to do with the herdsmen and the farmers' clashes, deadly clashes. Dozens and dozens of lives being lost, farmlands being damaged. So we could just be looking at a major food security problem on our hands the way things are going. So we need to bring the entire deadly conversation into the economic front and let you begin to think about the consequences of everyone on the side of this issue. Let's bring in Adim Okwesa from Financial Derivatives Companies, one of the research analysts. Good morning. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Bruce.
On a daily basis, when we have very few minutes here, when you see this in the news, of this, the herdsmen cultivate as shepherds cows and cattle that we need on our table, right?
Yes.
So, and the farmers, on the other hand, also cultivate sorghum, wheat, millet, corn, soybean, what have you, cowpeas. So the cattle start eating those food crops, right?
Yes.
And we need to eat both. I eat both.
Yes, indeed.
So how do we resolve this problem for my stomach? And what are the consequences for every one of us? We need to let the cows have peace, so that the farmers also need their peace, because we're going to run into some problem very soon.
I think that's where the true problem lies. The president alluded that rapid demographic changes have led to increased competition for land. Yes, that is an issue, but I think the real problem is the failure to modernize our cattle rearing and meat processing methods. As long as we continue to graze cattle across the country, transport them to markets, it will continue to fuel...
Surprising. We have cows transported all the way from Kano to Lagos, live cattle.
Yes, and
in these days of technology, when you could just have the slaughterhouses in Kano.
And in that process, you're compromising farmers' crops and water supplies. And that is the real issue that the farmers have.
I forgot water.
Yes.
Because water is also involved.
That is.
The villages where these cattle drain, you know, cool.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, where folks fetch water,
yes,
and they need their streams.
So, like you said, I think there's likely to be shortages, because apart from the Boko Haram issue in the northeast, we now have this issue in the middle belt, coming to where most of these commodities are being consumed in the south. So it is likely to create food shortages.
This is beginning to look to me, by my own definition, an axis of crisis.
It is.
Which is from the northeast, as you said.
Yes.
We haven't done yet with the Boko Haram. Yes, we've dealt them a blow, but we still haven't been able to turn Lake Chad back into that wheat field that it used to be. So we still have shortage of that.
Yes, indeed.
So we're importing wheat.
Yes, yes.
And now we're going to have other problems with vegetables and other food crops.
Tomatoes, beans, and northeast is the food basket of our country. So as long as that still remains the problem, then we're going to have shortages. So it's we have to look out for that. And the impact on commodity prices too, it doesn't look rosy, to be honest.
It doesn't look good. So when I look at the food index, for example, like the latest numbers, and we say food in the inflation in Nigeria close to 20%, 19.42%. This is part of the problem, isn't it? The herdsmen and the farmers.
If you couple that with smuggling issues together with this shortages, then that is why our food inflation is extremely high. But the good news is that food inflation actually declined this month from record highs
December?
December 2017, from record highs of 20.3%. So that boils down to a good harvest. The harvest in 2017 was very good. So going forward, I think for the next couple of months, food inflation should continue to decline.
One of the food crops that is being trampled upon is cowpea, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Cowpeas, beans as most people...
Yeah, beans as we call it.
Most people know it, yes, indeed.
Yes, and this could be threatened further if we don't keep... We're doing about, I don't know how much we do, but if we can just put that up there, it looks like the number of tons that were still ranked with this Borno, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kano. I could see Sokoto to the far west of the north, and Borno to the far northeast of the country.
Yes, indeed. Nigeria is actually the largest producer of cowpeas in the world. Nigeria, Niger, Burkina Faso. So this region, we actually produce a lot of beans in this country. And beans is a very nutritious commodity. It's mostly not often eaten in the north, but it's mostly eaten in the south. We have our beans pudding, our beans cake, or moi moi, akara,
You're preaching to the choir. Go ahead. You're preaching to the choir here. I'm a member of the choir.
Yes, indeed.
This is my number one.
Yes, indeed. So it is a very popular and nutritious commodity. So yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then I think I would just have to leave it there. We just have to appeal to everyone to keep the cattle away from the cowpea or beans, so that and make sure that everybody is healthy and safe. Yes, Thank you very much for coming. Very short, straight and sharp. But we're going to continue that conversation about the economic impact on Nigeria's food sustainability. We need to bring the entire discussion to my market and my economy, and that's the herdsmen and the deadly conflict with the farmers. Let's take a break. We'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, the 17th of January. Bye for now.